Yeah, okay, good. He had some trial and error. Obviously, when you were going to create a new idea, think about an idea that you want to put into production. When you try to do that, it doesn't, always work the first time. And so he did have trial and error. What else? Anything else? What about that caption under the picture? What does that say?
He was accomplished.
He what?
He was accomplished.
He was accomplished, yes. What else? He was
Productive.
productive, yeah. Why was he productive, Eli?
Well, he had a team, so I mean that would make him a little bit more productive.
Okay, good. So we had a team, right? So that's good, isn't it? You might have an idea, but sometimes it's difficult to do it all on your own, and therefore it's good to have a team, isn't it? Team play, share the workload, get ideas from each other. Lane.
How come only Thomas Edison ever really gets recognized for his kind of team?
Well, yes, I think the team. I think it's his. Often their ideas, and then they have people to come on board to help them. I think it was probably his original deal, so he gets the recognition for that. In fact, if you look there, he would eventually become the most productive inventor in American history with how many inventions to his name? Right, well, so that's pretty impressive, isn't it? This isn't just a one idea guy, and I think what you've got to remember is this is a time of ideas and explosion of those ideas and expansion, and therefore when you're creating one idea and it makes you think of something else, then you move on and you look at those and create those as well. So I'm going to give you some papers in a second to read through, but on 13.2 in this section you can see that this comes under new inventions and technologies. He was one of the great inventors to... Oh, hello, I'm sorry, go on, yes.
How are you? I need a person Lane?
Yes, here he is. You might be able to help him because I think he needs to be helped today.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm not sure what's
She'll take care of you. Thank you, my dear. All right, so we just mentioned before when we put off the lights, we'll be sitting in the dark. What can you see on this picture on page 164? What's going on? Leah, what's going on, my dear? Page 164.
Everyone's becoming industrialized.
Okay, everything's becoming industrialised. How can you tell that?
Well, there's like more cars and stuff, and bigger buildings.
Okay. Now also, what can you see going across, connecting the buildings, Leah? Wires, yes. Rose, take your feet down, please. Thank you. Okay, so now you've got this idea of the light bulb, created maybe in homes and small businesses, but also this expansion of electricity out into daily life, daily street life. Then over here on page 165 is a picture of what? The telegraph pole, right? So do you remember what's the code for the telegraph? The Morse code, right? You're familiar with that? Where you were able to tap through the signals to say what was going on. There's the men busy at work. This is also a time not just for the automobile, but this is also a time for the development of oil, the development of steel. Those discoveries, do you remember? You probably don't remember this, but does anybody know the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
So how does that song start? Once a man of Jed's millionaire, some folks said Jed move away from there. Said California's space oil. What does he shoot and what comes up out the ground? The oil, right? So all of a sudden he's like, a triple millionaire, whatever that's called. And so he heads to the big city. Of course, he can't live there. He still lives basically. But there's a discovery, a recognition of oil, discovery of oil. And then down here on page 166 are skyscrapers, right? When we go into any major American city, actually all over the world now, but let's look at American cities. What do we see as you're flying into those cities? Skyscrapers, and there's the Bessemer process and the steel. And there's a lovely picture of the St. Louis World Fair all the way back in 1904. Do you ever go to Disney World? You know, hear all about St. Louis, the World Fair and stuff. And here's your explosive industrial growth. And there's a description of our good old Henry Ford's assembly line and how production, more efficient production came about. And then the idea is that these people who actually become part of industry, they are often referred to. Why do you think people put up money and produce and create more industry to help the economy? Who are they doing it for? Themselves. Capitalism. Good, Eli. What is capitalism?
Personal gain.
Personal gain, yes, good. So some people would argue that these industrialists do it for themselves because under capitalism, that's what you do, right? Any money that you make from your product, you put back into the business in order to produce more, and anything that's left over, as Eli said, is your personal gain, right? But what else could you argue? What would we do without these industrialists? We wouldn't be as productive, and therefore you could also argue, Ben, what?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear that one.
So you could argue that they're not doing it for personal gain, as Eli suggested. But what?
I'm not sure.
Jay? If they're not doing it for personal gain, what are they doing it for? For satisfaction? Or for the country, I suppose? For people to develop the economy. So you don't have to say necessarily that it was all for self, you could argue either way. Anyway, there's a piece in there about your main groups of people, and then it goes on to talk about the Gilded Age. Anybody know about the Gilded Age? Anybody know what gilded means? Golden? Well, it is gilded, but it is connected to golden. When you talk about the Gilded Age, anybody reckon? Mary?
Or gilded is like when it looks like gold, but it's not inside.
Excellent, thank you. The Gilded Age, it is to do with is the idea that it looks like it's golden on the outside, and when you think of a golden piece, what does that say about it? What does that tell you? What do we?
It's valuable.
It's valuable, yes. But unfortunately, when you take look further on the inside, it's not all what's the saying? All the glitters is gold and all that. It wasn't quite as golden. Good, Mary, as it seemed when you looked more closely. And there's a reference there to the Gilded Age as well. So let me give you these papers, and then you can work through these, and I will explain what you're going to do. There's a set of these, but they're not stapled, so it's going to not stapled. You may. Okay. Yeah, but they're not stapled because I don't want them stapled.
Number 2.